Hi, this tutorial gives an introduction to the Google Drawings tool. This is an incredibly versatile tool that students can use to create projects ranging from collaborative collages to illustrated math problems, brochures, and for older kids, some really sophisticated posters. This tutorial will focus on creating a collage because that's a great way to learn the basic features of this tool. So after you've logged into Drive, go ahead and click on New and scroll down to More, then choose Google Drawings right here. When Drawings opens up, you see the canvas. It shows a checkerboard pattern, which indicates that it has a transparent background. You'll be able to change that at any time. I prefer to wait to see what works best with the photos I've selected and the text elements I've added. Before doing anything else, go ahead and click on File to set up your page. You want to do this right away because if you wait until you have elements on the canvas and then change the page setup, those elements may end up being distorted. So here you can select any of the presets or choose custom. In this case, it's set up for 1-inch margins on a standard 8.5 by 11 page. That's fine. That'll give us a landscape for our collage. Up here, just as in any Google file, you'll name the project. I'm going to be using images about collaborative learning, so I also always ask kids to put in the names of any students who are collaborating on the file. In this case, I'm going to be collaborating with myself at a different email. Go up to the image icon, click that, and there are a number of choices for where you can get your image. You can upload it from your computer. We use Chromebooks, so you probably will be going to Google Drive for images or Google Photos. If you click on your albums, it will take you to your Google Photos account. Here I've set some aside in an album called Test Portfolio, and I will choose a few. Once you've selected them, just resize, dragging at the corners. So these are just different images of kids working together. Kids could use this to, for example, document their work in the explain step of the design process in STEM. They could use a collage to demonstrate their learning from a field trip. All right, once you have some images selected, I would obviously use more. Well, I probably would use maybe 2 more. You'll notice that a lot of the tools for the images are the same as they are in many applications. Up here I could crop this, so I choose the crop tool. I want to focus on all the hands that are at work there. You can notice next to the crop tool there's this little drop down arrow, and this allows you to change the mask. For example, if you wanted it to be an oval. Notice that if you want to change the shape of that, you're going to end up distorting it. You're going to end up distorting it. I would prefer not to have the masking like that, but I do want to crop it some more. All right, now if I'm collaborating with someone, I need to first share the drawing with them. So here, I'm going to share it with myself at my other email address. And now you'll be able to see how my partner here is able to insert a photo. Let's move this up here. don't want to lose him. Now, notice that my hands are almost completely hidden. So I'm going to click on that. If I right click on that image, I'm allowed to change the order. This has to do with the layers in which things appear on that canvas. So if I bring it to the front, I'm going to click on this. When I click on it, watch what happens over here. And now it's on top of these other two photos. If this is a little unclear, I can add a border to my image by going up here and choosing line color, and I would choose red. Now you'll see this very fine red line. I'd like it to be a little thicker, so I go to the line weight tool and choose to make it a thicker line. Maybe thicker yet. So I'll click here to give it a red line. Same thing here. I'm going to use Command Y and Command Y again. Then I'll go here to choose my line weight, and then Command Y and Command Y. You also can spin, so I'm going to spin this. It's okay if it goes. I would like it to, I'm using my arrow key to move that a little bit. Arrow key again here. I like to bring that down a little bit so I can see his hand. Spin this. Notice that it tells you how many degrees. This will come in handy if you want to add words in the actual image. So here, for example, they're working on a Gold Rush project. If I click up here, I can add a text box. You can work outside of the canvas and then drag your work into it. So let's make a text box here that says mining for gold, finding each other's perspectives. If I move that onto the image, I've got a couple of problems. I can't read it because it's black text. So I'll go up here to the text color tool. You actually can choose the text color or the highlight. Here I'm going to choose text and choose white. It's still a little weak, so I'd like to make the letters bold. And I can spin this as well. So first I want to go to my image and see how many degrees this is. It's 347.1-ish. Now we have the beginning of a collage. I would like to add now a title for it. I can just use a text box as I did for this caption, or I can insert word art. Notice that in order to do a multiple line title, I need to use Shift plus Enter. And then when I hit Enter, I'll get the title itself. The default is Arial. I have quite a number of fonts, but if you click on more fonts, the list goes forever. You can scroll and scroll and scroll. It looks like you're getting near the bottom, but eventually you do, but it takes quite a while. So there are a lot of choices. To choose one, you just put a check mark in front of it and click OK. That's not actually what I want to use. So I like cherry cream soda, bold. Notice the default color is light blue for the fill. You can change that. For now, I'll choose white. And to get rid of the line around each letter, I'll choose transparent. All right. Now, what I actually want is a background for this. So I'm going to use the shape tool and choose a rectangle. and make it slightly larger. I'll be able to adjust the proportions in a moment. The default here is white. I would prefer that it be red. And I've covered the letters. You can do the same thing that we did with the images. And I right-clicked on the rectangle and I chose order, and I would like to send it backward. Right? Now, I want to be able to move this, but if I go to grab it, only one part of it moves. So a really useful thing is that you can group objects. I'm going to click anywhere other than one of the two boxes and any empty space. Then clicking outside of the objects, drag, and now I can right click and choose group. All right. Now when I go to grab it, everything moves as I would like it to. Now at this point I can choose the color for my background. To set the background, I just need to right click on the background, select background, and I'm thinking yellow just because of this yellow bit here. Before we leave this file, I want to mention that when you insert images, you or your kids, you also can choose search. If you click on search here, you can find images online from Google Images, and there is some, it automatically, it chooses results that are labeled for commercial reuse with modification, all right? And so you should be fine with this because this isn't even commercial use, it's non-commercial use, it's an educational use. Another option is to open a new tab, go to Images, and if I type in collaboration, I like students to go through the steps of understanding copyright. So in Google Images, click on Search Tools and choose Usage Rights and choose images that are labeled for non-commercial reuse. Here I can choose the type. I want specifically clip art, so I can click on Type and choose clip art. I've narrowed my choices, but they are much more focused on what I want. I want clip art that is labeled for non-commercial reuse. So as I look through here and I try and think of what might be a good fit, I like this. So I can right click this, don't save link as, but copy the image. Now you don't want to do that directly from the thumbnail because it'll be pixelated. But now over in our collage, I can right click and choose paste and then resize the image and give it I don't want to block that chess move, and give it a little border like the others had. Kids often will use online images, for instance, for a history project. And if they do, please always remind them to go, not just to use this URL as the source, but to actually visit the page where the image appears and use that URL. So I click up in the URL bar and Command C. Over here, I don't even have to create a text box. I can just click anywhere on the canvas, Command V, and resize this. It doesn't have to be 14 point. I will say all images original except clip art. And this way now I can also highlight this and click on the link icon, right? And I would like to make it smaller and tuck it away, tuck it in the corner. There we go. Now, Google Drive automatically saves this as it does any of the Google files. If you would like to save it to your computer, I suggest saving it as a PDF. There's another thing that you can do with it as well. You can insert it into an existing Google document. So, for example, if you have, as I happen to have, a document in which students are going to offer additional text information about a collage or anything that it is that they've created in Google Drawings, place your cursor where you want the drawing to appear. Go back here, and in order to insert this into a Google document, go to Edit in the toolbar and choose Web Clipboard. There, choose Copy Entire Drawing to Web Clipboard. Over here, instead of Insert, you'll go back to Edit and choose not Paste, but Web Clipboard. And as you hover over each of these, you can see what drawings have been saved there. So I'm going to click on this one, and it's going to come in very large. As you can see, it isn't going to fit entirely on the page. So I will grab a corner. Well, I'll click on it first. And in fact, it's already distorted it. You can see that their faces are long, so I'll fix that in a moment. There we go. All right, so here we have now our text. Above and below, I created space for it, and our collaborative collage. Now I have to give another teaser for something, just to show you what's possible with this tool. Look at this. This graphic was done by this fellow. He shows you how to do it here, Joshua Pomeroy. If you go to YouTube and do a search, he adds a photo into Google Drawings and then uses the line tool to create a vector graphic from the original drawing. You can see here he's done one that's a landscape. This guy has done 41 tutorials with different examples of things that he's done using Google Drawing Tool. So I had to show that because the possibilities are just amazing. I hope that this has been helpful and that you and your students enjoy using the Google Drawings tool.